that they have, where you plug in all of the keywords. And I haven't had much luck with that. I haven't figured out the sweet spot to make that work really well.
Me neither.
I've done some Twitter ads, and they're okay, but I've found, honestly, that Facebook ads with a target audience works the best for me. It's the best bang for my buck.
Sure.
And I generate significant sales for my Facebook ads.
Oh,
you kind of have to run them individually so that you can see what generates sales and what doesn't, rather than running a bunch of ads at one time. I try to stagger them as best as I can.
Yeah.
And if you can have the ebook on the Kindle Unlimited platform, where you have the 70% royalties as opposed to the 30% royalties, you can also choose to either
Rachel?
Yes.
You cut out. Can you say that? You can choose either two, and then you cut out with the Kindle platform. The 30, choose 70%, but not the 30, and then you kind of cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So you can choose two different royalty options, 70% or 30%. If you choose the 70% on the Kindle Unlimited, then you can run certain specials for your books. So you can offer your ebooks for free, or you can offer them at a discounted Kindle Countdown So I'm getting ready to launch the third book in my trilogy, and my marketing plan for that is to offer the first book for free, the second one for 99 cents, and then the third one for the full price of $3.99. So you could potentially get, the whole trilogy at a discounted price.
For sure.
So it kind of helps me move books that way.
Are you finding that you're getting more sales on Kindle than you are in print?
Yes, from the Amazon platform. Now, I work a bunch of conventions with my print copies for outside sales.
Gotcha.
And additional revenue.
I mean, that's great that you're making the additional revenue, but it kind of makes me sad about people are buying more Kindle than they are print.
I've had a lot of people also ask about Audible. That seems to be a more popular option, and that market is growing exponentially. I've been holding off on having my books on Audible, mainly because I wanted to finish all three books in that trilogy so that I could have the same voice actor for all three.
Yeah.
But I always have people ask at every show I work, whether or not it's on Audible.
So for Audible, does an author, I've never tried it, does an author have the choice to be their own voice actor? Because I write poetry. I'd rather read it myself. Cool. So is that part
of...
Yes,
you can narrate your own.
Is that a separate thing from Amazon? Or do you have to pay to do that to Audible? Or do you just submit like you do KDP?
It's a different platform. So you have to log into a different system for that. I have not looked into recording my own. What I do know is that if you are looking for voice actors, you can submit a section of your work and people can record it, and then basically they are applying for the job. You listen to their narration of your book, and then you choose the one you like the most. There's a couple different ways. You can either pay them a lump sum to do the entire book, or you can choose to split royalties with them. So when you sell a book, that voice actor also gets a percentage of that Audible book. As far as narrating for yourself, I know you can do, but I don't know the details of all that. I'm assuming that you would record it. It wouldn't cost anything extra, and you would collect then 100% of whatever the royalties were on Audible. That would be my guess, but I'm not entirely sure.
Well, see, I'm mostly a poet, so I just feel like poetry is more personal, and I'd rather do it myself. I already do record a lot of my poems on a podcast, separate from this, so that's why I prefer that.
Maybe look into it. I think that they do have some tutorials on doing the narrations yourself.
Awesome.
So
Very
I would
cool.
definitely look into that. And especially poetry, you're right. It is.
I think you cut out again, Rachel. Oh no.
I think the author added something. I'm sorry. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're here now.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Okay. Yes.
Oh, darn
Sorry.
technology. You know, it works when it wants and works when it doesn't.
I know, right?
You know, internet's great, self-publishing's
Absolutely.
great, but, like, it's not your fault. It happens. I mean, that's what you get with podcast stuff sometimes, so it's no big deal. And again, I've kind of stole the platform. Josh, do you have anything you would talk to her about?
Well, I just was wondering, what authors inspire you the most?
Okay. I have read a lot of Robert Jordan. I'm a big Wheel of Time fan.
Mm-hmm.
So that has had a large influence on my fantasy writing.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Gaiman, I don't know, American Gods is one of my favorite books. And it was one of my favorite books before it became the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
The TV show is okay, but the book is leaps and bounds better than the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my main influences. Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, I've heard.
I started reading him.
I've heard that Sanderson is being called the new Tolkien now.
He kind of is. He took over and finished the Wheel of Time series.
Yes, he did.
When
yeah.
Robert Jordan passed away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so whenever I finished that series, I was like, what am I going to read next? I mean, I have this big epic adventure now. And so I'm like, well, why not pick up something that Brandon Sanderson has written? And so I picked up his Mistborn trilogy and immediately just fell in love with that. The world building in there, yes, it's reminiscent of a Tolkien world, absolutely. And I have had the privilege. I've met Brandon Sanderson, so
awesome.
I've kind of met one of my.
Mm-hmm.
Did you meet him, like, at a convention?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I got all of my Mistborn hardbacks signed, of course.
Nice.
Because I'm a big nerd when it comes to my favorite authors.
Well, there's a lot of...
Same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was just going to say there's a lot of buzz going around about his Stormlight archive series now.
Yes, that's getting big.
Mm-hmm.
I have not read that series yet. There's so many. I try to not get in a big fantasy binge in which, I try to read out of my wheelhouse things that I wouldn't normally pick up, just because it helps me as a writer to explore different genres, different styles of writing. So I try to kind of alternate a little bit, but that one is on my reading list. How long it'll take me to get to it, I don't know.
Well, don't feel bad, Rachel, because I have on my reading list, officially, according to Goodreads, over 9,000 books. So I know I won't finish it all before I die.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And he has, like, lots of books.
You need to be doing Audible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing we have in our place is mostly a lot of his books. I mean, I have a lot, but I always used to think I had a lot. No, this guy here, he has tons of books. So.
Well, I bought bookshelves, and I thought, well, I'm going to get all these books on here, and, they're not going to be laying around all over the place. And I got them all on the bookshelves, and I was like, crap. It's full. I'm going to have to get another one because then I can't get any more books if it's full. So
sound like him.
Yeah.
That's how Josh is, and he will, like, start stacking them in different ways or on top of each other, and he uses every bit of space that he can, even the tops of them. And then
I'm guilty too.
So, yeah, we're, like, hoping eventually that if we ever get our own place, we need a separate room for a library, because, yeah.
Books and board games, because part of the board games and RPG games, like that's one side, and then the other side is books. So and both libraries are growing at an exponential rate, probably a little bit out of control, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we've got a separate room for a library, but I found a way to split it up so that, like, because well, the closet's big enough. I'm into like art, so we have the closet that's big enough to put a small table to put all my crafty stuff in, and then we have bookshelves around. Then I took 2 of our bookshelves, split it down one part of the middle of the room, and I put a couple like curtain rod and like a shower rod. So one side is an office, and another side has like an extra bed for anyone if they need something to sleep in. And then downstairs, what's called our coat room. Josh had brought in shelves that his dad had made, and then he bought some extra wood to have chopped because he found slots where he could put pieces of wood to make more bookshelving. So. So he's very good at using his space.
It's always evolving.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun. There's just something about going into like your own library and like looking and touching at all your books.
Oh, I know, and we have a used book sale shop in town here, and a lot of people.
I think you broke up a little bit, Rachel. You had a used bookstore in your shop?
I can't part with them. Do you guys have... Yeah, we have a used bookstore. A lot of people sell the books after they've read them. Do you guys do that? I can't part with them after I've read them.
I have 2 copies. I can like part with one of them, but I have trouble letting go of my books. Josh is very nice about letting people borrow them, but they don't always give them back.
Well, that and...
I know.
See, what I do is, over the several books I've read... there's some that I think, in my opinion, don't have as much rereadable quality as others that I don't like as much, and then those I will sell, because like I like more to get more space in, and I'm very much an anti-hoarder. So if there's something I don't need at all and is using up space, I will either A, give it away, or B, sell it. So like it just depends. Like if like, I have plenty of books that like are definitely staying with me forever, until I die.
Hopefully we have to bury them all with him.
And then there are those that don't have really any rereadable quality to me anyway, and I either give those away or sell them. So it's just depends. So
okay. Yeah, I probably have a few I can get rid of. For the most part, I like to hang on to them.
Yeah. Somehow, my dad, I'd always wonder where half of my books when I was a kid. Somehow we found a few of them. So, like, I have a few from my childhood, like The Indian in the Cupboard, which I won from doing a bookmark contest. Nice. And then I found my copy of A Wrinkle in Time, so that's cool. And mind me, the book is way better than the movie.
Yeah. Lisa Kern.
Yeah. So, and then I think there's a couple. I'm not quite sure where all my Ramona books went, but I know they're around here somewhere. Or my daughter has them. I don't know. There's something about having a few of your childhood books around, too. I don't know what it is.
Well, that's where you started your venture. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
So I got to have a couple of those at least still.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't want to keep you very long. I know we can find you on the web at reyclark.com, and that's REY Clark.com. Where else can people find you on the web?
I have a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and of course I have an Amazon author page. Those are probably the best places to find me.
Sure. So they would just have to go to Amazon and search for Rey Clark?
Rey Clark, yeah.
Awesome. Now, Rey Clark, is that your pen name then, right?
It's a pen name, yeah.
So how did you come up with that? I'm just curious.
Well, you have Ray Bradbury and Arthur C. Clarke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
That's where I came up with the name.
Okay, I was kind of wondering. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I was trying to, my real name is Rachel, so Ray is short. A lot of my friends will just call me that. So I'm like, why don't I just use that then? And it's Ray Bradbury, who I.